Good afternoon. My group, that is composed by Maria Fernanda Bello, Sharon Forero, and I, Natalia Bernal, are going to talk about Zorrozaurre, who is an Iraqi architect known by her work in the stream of deconstructivism. The content of our presentation is exposed ahead. First, we are going to talk about the biography of Zaha Hadid, then neighborhood identity, then concept, then development of the plan, then components, and finally external factors.
To start, let's talk about Zaha Hadid. She was an architect, a designer, teacher of university, and she was born on 31 October in 1950 in Baghdad, Iraq. Zaha Hadid's pioneering vision redefined architecture for the 21st century and captured imagination across the globe. Each of her projects transformed notion of what can be achieved in concrete, steel, and glass. Combining her unwavering optimism for the future and belief in the power of innovation with advanced design, material, and construction innovation. Many architects are called on to create new projects that stand as symbols of social progress, but not delivered as regularly, as unexpectedly, and as spectacularly as Zaha Hadid. Her success were so consistent. She received the highest honors from civic, academic, and professional institutions across the globe. Her projects remain one of the world's most inventive architectural studios and has been for almost 14 years. Zaha Hadid studied mathematics at the American University of Beirut before moving to London in 1972 to attend the Architectural Association School, where she received the Diploma Prize in 1977. She was get professorship at universities around the world, including Columbia, Harvard, Yale, and the University of Applied Art in Vienna. She founded Zaha Hadid Architect in 1979, and she was awarded the Pritzker Architecture Prize in 2004. Experiences Hadid architecture guilds on understanding that the quest for beautiful alone was not her modus operandi. Her buildings are beautiful, and beauty may account for the seductive urban presence of the whole on the eye, but the beauty and veracity within her work is married to meaning. Her architecture is inventive, original, and civic, offering generous public space that are clearly organized and intuitive to navigate. As they open, each of Hadid's buildings take place in architectural history for its virtuosic construction, its architectural ideology, and its sheer magnetic presence. Her designs are the embodiment and the enlightened philosophical framework and principled disciplining. Her clients commissioned buildings and Hadid met the programs, but she also excited each brief and delivered the shared aspiration of a new generation. Hadid's outstanding contribution to the architectural profession has been acknowledged by professional, academic, and civil institutions around the world, including the Forbes list of the world's most powerful women and the Japan Art Association presenting her with the Premium Imperable. In 2010 and 2011, her designs were awarded the Steinin Prize, one of the architecture highest accolades by the Royal Institute of British Architects. Other awards include UNESCO naming as an Artist of Peace, the Republic of France honoring Hadid with the Commander of the Order of Art and Letters, and Time magazine include her in 100 most influential people in the world, naming her the world's top thinker in 2010. Zaha Hadid was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II in 2012, and in February 2016 she received the Royal Gold Medal. To finish, she passed away on the 31st of March 2016, leaving a great legacy of architecture. In this part, let's talk about the history of Deusto. Little is known about the history of Deusto, as much of the local archives were destroyed during the Spanish Civil War. The exact moment of its foundation is unknown, but this is a common trend shared with another elite across the Biscay. It is known that the San Pedro de Deusto church was constructed sometimes around the 14th century, and that until 1700 the land was sparsely populated and the main economic activities were fishing and agricultural production, mostly wheat and wines. The first time hall was erected in 1752, replaced by another building in 1888. This later was demolished during the Civil War. The town had the seat number 35 in General Council in Biscay. Traditionally, the municipality was divided in two quarters: a ribera, right side location by the river, which concentrated the commercial and maritime activities of the village, and Gori, highland, at the foothills and Mount Artsanda, which include most of the farmland. At the end of the 19th century, the town enjoyed relative commercial prosperity thanks to the railway line between Bilbao and Getxo, which include a station in Deusto. Using the railway lines, many of the agricultural products from Deusto were more easily sold in Ribera market of Bilbao. A royal decree designed on 29 October 1924 established an annexation of Deusto to the city of Bilbao, effective on the 1st of January of the following year. Alongside Deusto, the Elisees of Begoña and Luxtaxa were also annexed, although the latter would regain its autonomy in the early 1980s. In the following years, a series of urban plans were developed, designed by the architect Ricardo Bastida, with the aim of establishing a first urban grid of the district, which at the time was still comprised mostly of scattered farmhouses. The rapid industrial development of Bilbao caused a massive migration of workers coming from elsewhere in Spain, and in consequence, the creation of decadent shanty towns on the hills of the mountain banderas. These were demolished and replaced by apartment buildings projects in the decades in 1950, completely depleting the available land in the district. The Deusto Bridge, a movable bridge spanning in the Bilbao estuary and connecting Deusto with Abando, was constructed between 1932 and 1936. During the Francoist dictatorship, it was remained British in the Generalismo. Its name was changed back to Deusto in the late 1917s. In 1968, a canal was scaved connecting to the estuary on the northwest side with the aim of relieving the versatile traffic in the river. This canal became known as the Deusto Canal, and the newly created peninsula was named Zorrozaurre. This peninsula would later become an artificial island, following the completion of Zorrozaurre plan master designed by architect Zaha Hadid. As part of the plan, the canal was finished and officially opened in 8 October 2018, making the former peninsula become an island.
Concept. In developing the plan, 5 study points were considered that describe an initial approach to the area. First of all, keeping the Nervion River as an element that organized the development of the city, as much as for its visual energy. In second place, use the river to define milestones, guidelines, disintegration, and connection patterns, and also working hard with the condition of the ground in areas of intensity and concentration. In third place, optimize the organization of existing industries in relation to the urban process, just as an exchange will provide a new spatial organization to the city, opposed of all town area of Zorrozaurre should be different to respond to the modern dynamic and requirements. In fourth place, the need for significant investments in hydrological and transportation infrastructure. In fifth place, the plan should ensure coherent integration. Bilbao is a dynamic city, and Zorrozaurre shall continue with the tradition, developing a new economic circuit, encouraging the exploration of interconnections between living and working to complement the standard typologies of homes and offices.
In this part of the presentation, we will talk in detail the master plan design for Zorrozaurre by Zaha and her team. It is located in Bilbao, Spain. It is large-scale, integral, balanced, and sustainable project. They design a place to live, work, and enjoy it. Well, in first, we will talk about the general aspect. The total area is 838,000 square meters, including the Canal de Deusto and its future opening. 1,470 house divided in different types. They will allocate 93,000 square meters for education, health, sport, and culture equipment. 202,000 square meters for economic activities, and finally 154,000 square meters for green areas. Second, the urban structure was designed a very simple route network based on a central avenue with wide side walls and bikeway. Also, they install a streetcar that will run all over the island, and for connection with other neighborhoods, they will build 3 bridges. It connects with the Deusto neighborhood, the second with the San Ignacio neighborhood, and 3 with the Zorrozaurre neighborhood, and the last for the exclusive use of the tram connects with the Ensanche. This in particular will be moved bridges to ensure the navigability of the started up to the Maritimo Museum. And 3, they are divided in 3 districts: South, Center, and North. So district is natural urban intensification located in the middle of academic, medical, and business, ideal as an area for the development of the economic. Central District is the reflection of the open nature and use the force of the landscape to establish a relationship with historical buildings. It's conceived as a center for the arts, sport, and sciences, connected by a green grinch. And the last is the North District. Is a residential neighborhood will join with San Ignacio to support the regeneration of small business. Also, 31,000 square meters are reserved of the technology park. The internal mobility will be through an avenue that crosses the interior island, articulating the three new bridges. It seeks to reduce the use of the car, prioritizing pedestrians and cyclists, integrating as a means of transport the trams. The yellow line or the rose for the pedestrian, the red line for the cyclist, and the dotted line connect the system. We can see they are designed to border the island. And the green line is that of the tram. This will be the main means of public transport. This will cross the island parallel to the avenue connecting with the south and the line that leads to the center of Bilbao, and the north connection will be through the Zorrozaurre. The area for the use on green areas is a 154,000 square meters. Design of this space competition was made. The winning team is composition of the companies Gonzalo Cavia and Cabrera Arquitectura, Urbanismo y Paisaje in Vizcaya, and Hansana de la Villa de Pau Architecture in Barcelona. The design linear park in the central area of the island of 40,000 square meters and highlights the continued expansion of the gardens of Botica Vieja and its pedestrian connection. 6. The main objective of the plan is to recover the existing buildings and structure, helping to define new use and functions to preserve the history, logic of Bilbao. The objective, the City Council and the Management Commission have established significant revenues so that the residents can participate in the rehabilitation of their homes. 7. The buildings and their use for this will be divided by district. In the first is South District, and they are the top building of the island. They will build buildings between 13 and 19 floors, and most part will be office and the south headquarters of the Urban Technology Park. The Central District, the recuperated buildings will be public equipment. The buildings will have 7 to 8 floors. They will build a large liner and park between the main avenue and the Deustos Canal. Last is North District. Is a residential buildings will be 19 floors. Also in the north zone will be headquarters of the Urban Technology Park and most part of recuperate of existing factors.
Components. Talking about the infrastructure of Zorrozaurre, the canal of Destos should be open. The surface of public green areas is enlarged and the private ones is reduced. The current rear roads will be very wide. The footbridge that connects Zorrozaurre with the Olaveaga is eliminated. The percentage of officially protected and appraised housing increased to 58%. Possible reubication of the Igualatorio in Botica Vieja. Bridge San Ignacio, the second one in Zorrozaurre, connects the neighborhood of San Ignacio with the island. The new buildings. The first promotion of the new housings on August 11 of 2020 starts the construction of the connection wall in the island, composed of the 750 modular panels of even 8 meters high leading wings 51,700 square meters and building 761 floors. ADOM headquarters, AMQ clinic, the expansion with the annex building that will become the future faculty of the medicine of the University of Leicester. The rehabilitation of buildings. Rehabilitation of the trash building as the future headquarters of the Coastal Design University. As fabric, whose objective is to improve the competitiveness. Swap Bilbao, Consoni Lantegia, the University of Navarra will teach design, architecture, and urban planning.
And finally, we will talk about the external factor, focusing on the impact this project has on this place in three types of impact. One, social, political, institutional, and symbolic. Politic and institutional impact was produced change in main aspects related to civil society and public authorities. This is for the neighborhood union that generate the project in the topic of the recovery of buildings. Social impact after there are more many projects we have taken in account the residents of this area in such an important job. There are numerous activities that have been carried out to offer opportunities based of culture and innovation to actors who are often invisible in the city malls promoted by the private and public sectors. Impact is important the change that is taking place in the perception of Zorrozaurre, mainly from other areas of Bilbao. Going from being considered a basically industrial area to transmit that in it as in other neighborhoods. There is a neighborhood with a great sense of belonging and with great interesting to a great home. This was the presentation Zorrozaurre project by Zaha Hadid and her team.